you can hear the sound of what I'm chewing. It's nothing but it's ginger honey chips. Ginger honey chips. Now in the United States of America, everywhere you want, 862-215-2007. You can chew it like this, or better still, put it on your cocoa, rice water, oatmeal. You can put it in your akpatashi, your whiskey, your brandy, anything you want to put it on it. It's so nice. So nice. Oh my God. Ginger honey chips, 862-215-2007. 862-215-2007. It's your ginger honey chips. Get one for yourself. $10, free to go. Enjoy yourself. Thank you.
Baisa ubaye waboji na efitao.
Moya nkamewu. Moya nkamewu.
Doctor.
Moya mabo maba. Mabo.
Wait.
Dr. Mark Michelle. Dr. Mark Boko there.
Aye, Boko.
Dr. Mark Fesi yo baby I will be out. Dr. Mark Bonsema, why are you? So I'm Bisama say.
Oh, Bisawa.
Dr. Mark, Bisama see what one.
Me odo baby.
Dr. Mark, you ask me where you go Bisama see what suppose to happen. I say where Bisama see again yo.
Counselor, let's say
Ghana someone will share.
Now then, I have a share that some.
Hey, yes, you are saying I will share.
And then the buy.
Wa come in chiao. Boarding never chiao. What's the SC?
And then SC.
So go ima koyanet so.
Oh, me koye aminyan koye ndi omu ya wese me.
Sikane nenso ye.
Sikane me boabo anu medi.
Na me sremo wo abesa obu aso go ima koyanet so de sikane me mfa no so. Obedi. Ese to ye na ka wo mebre wo ye wi a. Ontari nyina besisa. So go ima se sia no ontwe that e wo hip no so. Enti okoyanet so ye ntari nyina besenya. A car a super. Now, if you are to a genius, some is alamatu, then to a genius. And you ask what you old scan I ought to. When you have one, I would drink go. Flat,
Japanese,
move for a
yep,
Orient,
yep,
Orient,
Japanese,
Chow Empress Gifty, Orient. Anyom to fo amoto ye flat won pesika nko amoto wate so ko ma me chia me ba ha che na ubisa asa ni na afi na me ba na me de nyama 2 years and say ukwa awo so na ukwa awo so nso no na ye hwe se ubesan wa achi aba uba no ma ba enti ukwa ye na me so me ko ye
enti me ba ye no unso wa ba
se uba ye no ma ba Ana
yo mate
mechia wo opanyin ba ku pa your friend Mr. Mason ne maba ho ofe papa
wow
na so go ima se uhia so bi akwa wo so aba no awo ba na akla no ho ye fe a eya wan ne de sombo no bono ana wan ne ma ne trinkwa sa oba ho ofa efini maame a na efini papa
se be ha akla no de ose no
da bi o akla bi ne ho efe
On so be
you say you are abofra bi
on some mammy and papa no.
enye sauce enye say wo se obi o ho ofe wo say obi a ho ofe
I send the papa and the horse, or send the mammy and the horses.
and akora ne se a de o se no na de
The panel was fair. The
panel say we are simon kasankasa no be say wo da achi ye a ho ye fa wo mbre so ni za
and the
unim oba ho ofe ho mbre o be ma ho ofe so ma hwe
I bet my one for Marshall.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I see I don't so ade so gi ade
Yeah, anything.
I never be chire sa ade but oba so ho fa wo mbre
And the meaning.
na be ma de wunim
Obema de na me.
oh gogo bebre aboa wo nye bibia nti o ma
No fair.
o ma zenga ka de o mutumi tri mi o mu start na o ma yo manim bibia wo ho bi sa
No ma say you mo kakra.
na form ya ti be ma ti si so go ima chire se wo ba na akora no wo fe nye ne ho fe no se wan
Was a mammy no, I send your mammy and the horse.
was a papa no
Was
so
a papa and the horse on the hour.
eti pesa onya abofra no ho fe anamon be ne se wutu
I send you before ban no horse and I bet my
medal se enti hwe akola bi an ho otan a ose wan
overhead your son.
ukoya o se ne papa
Or send a mammy.
na be ma so wale oba no otan de kwaje dan mo wale mo am ho otan nyam mu due ni amane hu
Ade no more.
e se oba no ho otan awale enya de
Na oba ne ho time na ne de ehe.
oba ne ho otan awale enya de nkra
Why yes oba bi ho time a then dem oba ne ho ye.
so be ma hu na di san ko na we fo awo so se abofra ho otan a ose
Me
wan
ka se ne ho time e so obi a ne ho time.
me bi sa abofra ne ho otan ose wan
Me de minimum me say
o se sa wan no
ne ho fe.
o se sa wan no
O ta se we da ho fe wan ka time.
so ho nya fa o ye dey
Ohun ọfa.
so ho nya fa
fe.
to ho nya fa asem na me ka
Ohun nya fa ohun ọfe.
da anti obi a ne ho nya fa nso o se ne maami ana ne papa
Say they depend on the person.
oba bia wonim so ho nya fa se si ade no so twa ope no so fra wo nya nkopon eso ba ne ho ofe na wale ye de papa.
And then when you are almost so almost say mama won fe no mo wale wo mo bre.
Da bi o wale oba ne ho nya fa o wa ho to papa.
Eno ne de say me ma frɛ no me ma
oba ne ho ofe nso no wale na wo hia abotre a ye de tena me yire ka kire me say engrofo crash on her and am any je na just ade ne me hwɛ so yi. And I say, why are you not responding to them? Or say, I've put them on waiting list. At the appropriate time, they will be useful until you are a wise wife. What do I say?
Somehow you catch
It's also see they are rich and so or shit. Not just say, will be a tentacles more. Or baby be a wali or bow you hieni yamen wow. Say wali hieni. That if you marry as a poor man, it is very bad for a woman to allow you to marry her as you are poor. But if you stay as a poor man for 5 years in marriage, check your wife. It is wrong to marry as a poor man. It is wrong to marry as a poor man. It is evil for a lady to accept a poor man's proposal to become the wife of a poor man. However, don't make that mistake. It's only fools who make those mistakes. Yes. Hey, you depict the purpose of God for your life. If you marry a man thinking said don't try it. It's negative. Marry a man that has what it takes. But if you've made a mistake already and you married a man that is poor, that's a mistake, but you've agreed to it. But if the man stays for 5 years after your marriage, you have to be blamed as a wife.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It is wrong to marry poor, but it is murderous for you to stay poor after 5 years. Check your wife. Check your wife. So if you're watching me and listening to me right now, and you married as a poor man, and 5 years down the line, you are still poor, check your wife.
And then the wife I had.
Hear me.
Maybe I have a man named Pejuma.
Check your wife.
Bema ni mpe adwuma den obeye.
Check your wife.
Akore adwuma ma no so.
Check your wife.
Nti onye nne.
Check your wife.
And the wife na abegi ni sika.
Check your wife.
Send it.
Because hear me, listen. So Ima, Oba asedi so yiri ni se uyiri wukunu. That's all. It is only bare manity. Now you are danka. When a bare manity, when you school fees, when a bare manity, when I would tell you coffee, not in fear no sanity. When I have problem in your bear.
And you didn't know banning ye.
What you now or be see. You see, now a sower went to sow. When he scattered the seed, some fell in thorns, some fell in rocks, some fell on normal fertile ground. But all of them brought out something. Regardless of the thorns, they came out. Regardless of the rock, they came out. And they all bear fruit according to how they struggle to come out. So every man God created is a seed. No seed will die without breaking out. So when you marry a man mistakenly who is poor, and you don't allow him to make decisions to make sure that he's a husband, you should be blamed. And how do you continue paying fees? I did a simple calculation in my house. I eat 2 eggs every day because of my riches. 2 eggs. Every day.
And then now every day.
That is the only protein I like in the morning for breakfast. Okay. So I take 2. But I sat there and asked myself, if I'm taking 2 from Monday to Monday, 7 days, it means I'm eating 4 eggs a week. So every 2 weeks, I eat how many eggs? 24 eggs. 24, 12
2
a week.
Day. So
2 a day, 14.
14
so
week.
14
into 28 2 weeks.
28 2 weeks. And a crate of egg is 30. I have 6 children. Let's think they are all eating 1 egg and their mother is eating 2. So me and their mother cannot take 2 eggs every day because she doesn't have the capacity. But only me, I'm eating close to 30 eggs a week. No, every 2 weeks. Is that not it? So if I'm eating 30 eggs every 2 weeks, a crate of egg every 2 weeks in my house, then how many eggs do you expect me to buy to my house?
Not less than 3.
A week. So a month, how many eggs do I eat? 4 crates.
4 crates.
So this is not including my children and my wife. So if you see me buying 1 crate a month and I'm complaining there's no egg at home, am I not a stupid man that must be sacrificed for the NPP government to leave power?
The ending got me laughing. You think we need someone to sacrifice?
But if you don't sacrifice a stupid man like this, can it be possible for us to have a change? So I'm saying that most of us, we are not doing simple mental calculations. And if you don't do the calculation well and you don't think well, the woman can be in the kitchen and she will not let you feel that you are eating 1 crate of egg every 2 weeks. And she will quietly be supplying the eggs. And for 5 years, I'll be eating eggs not knowing the amount of money that we spend in buying eggs. Then you, the woman, you are the reason why we are poor.
So it means that any woman who is providing for the husband or the family is the reason why the husband is poor.
If you are providing for your husband, there's nothing wrong with it. If it's not by compulsion, by force. But whose right it is to provide?
The man's
So
right.
Why are you taking the right and taking leadership position?
Probably the man is not working.
If your husband is not working, why do you marry a man who is not working? God commanded the man to work.
Okay, so
he says, and out of the sweat of your face you will eat. The ground will be hard for your sake. So a lazy man is a dead man. Not even for sexual intercourse.
That one I agree.
So why are you agreeing and telling me that we shouldn't blame you 5 years down the line when your husband is still poor? So when you see a man who has made it in life and is complaining that I spend money on my wife and she went to do lipo in Agbogboshi. I spend money on my wife and she went to do her breast. I spend money on my wife. That man is not a normal human being. It's an animal in the skin of a human being.
Why?
Because a woman must force you to be something, especially if she's a wife.
But she has forced you to be something. That's why the something came with money and she's using it.
So there's no woman you ask them what have you achieved in marriage that they have anything to say. You can buy them a house, you can buy them a car, you can buy them everything. But you ask them what have you achieved in marriage. If they have children, they say,
oh my days.
So wives will forever be ungrateful, no matter how you spend on them. Because wives and women, to be precise, are empty vessels.
How?
You can never fill them.
You are now talking.
As you are sitting, since you got
no, I mean,
we ask you.
Feeling
No, but you when I say with my
feeling. For feeling that,
so
I agree.
So I want to plead with men. If the amount of money we waste or spend on women, if we can spend just 1/4 of it on ourselves, our life will be better. So we reduce the widows in our country. Currently, the life expectancy in Ghana is 61 years for men, 63 years for women. I believe if men will take care of themselves a little bit like they're taking care of the other girls, I'm telling you, our lives will be better and will reduce the widows in town.
Counselor, there is this case at Minyae. So I mean, the issue whereby, and I think it's better. So this guy met me and it was like 2 weeks, or no, probably 3 weeks or a month to 3 weeks to his wedding. And I was sending invitation. I mean, all my BBA into movie nana. Like almost everything is out. I mean, 1 month to your marriage, I want to change invitation. Then it means you almost done for everything. Almost 30 days maybe. I come on the boss, the invitation card, and the boss, AJ. The following week, and the boss, need. I mean, with no better reason, via or what we say, now, so a Jumana no, don't worry anything of fun because he's able to travel with him everywhere. But it's your worry no, on pair issue 7 no so not now, and now we guide. So this in this case, 1 month to the wedding, and an age man go, but the marriage has to continue. It's way. As I said, I understand. I say, see, Jai.
Look, I said the marriage must continue. I mean,
I know you imagine, or no, not somehow, or no kind, or not say, the invitation card, the man. 1 week from the boss,
the boss didn't pay Obia or you married.
It looks like,
until the boss we saw what you obeying it in the war.
One can't tell us what you obeying it.
But a invitation or you need.
A invitation 1 week,
no, you
know, you need. But as to the main reason I would be you know. One can't channel or see or 2 point then they will know there is no need. Okay, no a man net driver. Okay. No a man net driver. It's way say I want to say invitation be there 3 weeks to the wedding. Now you need no.
If you ask me, I want to bear my in if you're on your employable, he's not qualified for marriage. Don't marry a man who is not employable.
Bema yet to be fan with Jimmy.
Bema who is not employable. Now I said, let me tell you, if I lose my job, I should be employable.
I say it's me found.
I mean, you see, there's no man that is indisposed who cannot do anything. Me ton MSP, Emma Ayasedru, me ton ginger honey chips, me ton bibia, me ton adia menton guy nipa. And then also me dream. It's just a girl you be can na personal why. Nyankopon ni me mu kan kore. Wo hwe girl ne voice ne the body. Se wuti fie na nye social media na hwa wo beka sort se fie onu ma fie a
escapa
za de frɛ no
enye news
onu ma fie a me kan asem
me fie de se be nimbe okay escapa okay
wo beka se ne to so odo so bi sa ba ge we na ase na so onu pa ne so ba twa ne voice
na de na so na ya ase so
ona uti we wa ne ni mo ya ase sai we got to go back
really
ejuba ye
hey counselor obenya asemo
it is fair la it is fair la it is fair la it is fair la it's not lips to it is fair what's it
obiyere
na wa no ayiro obi ko ba yiro obi wa uti any voice or the kind si Now we share body na not just a bemo or wale na ni J as we say no ba no tie mu no mo yo je. Sister, shocking me. But you say, oh, kwa wale asia, you careful. Ya you ready 1 week to wale. And your ban now go on head by fuck you ready. So
Obali by 4.
Hey, what in our wale you ready? When you could invitation card call your boss you ready.
Until
Obali by 4.
Oh, wait there meaning to. Meaning to. Meaning to.
Now the one
What is say you need no akonya bibi papa on anim.
and you are you employable?
Of course.
So if you are employable, then
So a driver. It's at the end of the day, obetinya.
how many drivers are 4 years in a year when you be empowered drivers? Hey,
Ayi back we are drivers here, your friend. So me the weekend.
the way
Oh, nadafu car no aje.
spare no.
Spare.
A took a while be a spare. So no one will be a royal cameraman, so be a capital better. So my you yeah.
Say cameramen, you can now cameramen who this come with you manual photography scout Manuel.
Why?
Manuel. Bini abema Manuel. Who the person that can say more radio so
you cameraman is capa.
Ese se a okunu a videographer.
Is
and not say photographer. Hey.
And no credit. It may cassette. When I watch it, you man.
Na say me event. Nti me chia photography man for.
That's all.
I know that
Manuel.
No, but sometimes I'm able to pay for photography and videography. 10,000 Ghana.
You say yes, car. Not 10,000 Ghana cedi.
10,000 Ghana every week. Be our wedding now.
Now you 10,000 every week. How is it?
Hey, counselor, and now Robert Mechesu.
Now you need to say so. What do you use 10,000 for?
Maybe back up for a life.
Now to sell a flat. Oh, my wedding invitation. Now, boss, no, you were there. Or you didn't Jawalero.
Me say no me ne wonya.
Na say me ntra da say ne me nya. Onu me ya kan be pede wa.
O ko na boss ware no.
Na o boss pe o yire na o yi boss wale ye bre obre e no be se obebre enti wo de ba ye na o tu fo se ha na betena wale de a na yi we de ne mi sika na de ko wale mi yi we de ne ja ba na ko se we aduma so go menti ma kan be si na nkoma me de ba ya e bedi no na nsein me
enti onto ne se anka ware ne ni kwan so oto aso so dan
you see is a very simple thing. Will be a projection before you get married. So if one of your projectional lines is within your employment engagement, now all of a sudden it fizzles out. I think that the best thing is to advise yourself. You know, it's best. I mean, it's best.
I want to share invitation now.
Invitation, I see a invitation, but we also ban and you correct me. My last 2 years, now it was 75 invitation cards out of the office. I terminated a planned wedding. I did so because I saw that if they marry, they'll become disaster to the society and to themselves. And they're listening to me. 75 this year, 4 me penna. I'm a family and say, Mama, stop it. So
yes, I did go from way now because counselor stop already.
It's better for you to know what can kill you and stop it than go inside and die for us to have your funeral service.
Yes, was Matthias.
What did I'm gonna say?
Let's casa.
You ask someone so corner wale one no be two for bon sema ni para say wa boy. Just what wale we need that. And I'm more about to social media. And my wife is not good. My wife is bad. I have had a lot of relationship with many girls, and none of them are like now and praction ya dear and yape. It means sorry and foul yiri and to pranomo. Suddenly moon jaika. Now and then come on here didn't say then oba ya a big book on one hour. Eti emma bebre awale fo no omo nim yomo ya egu awale It's your bar would tear me and the trim or radio, the sun say you will be a full life. So now, once watch about the Yammy, I say a guava lay now so slow say, Obeka. Maybe I can't amanako, the edit kind. Oba wale phobia, the way ya, Ebema wale good say, what done it, Oba, Ewa wale mua, on your say or yere. What done it, Oba, I won't know it. I saw Oba your bar. Oba ayo Oba. But Oba wale phone Oba enyepe.
Oba wa phone Oba enyepe.
Enyepe.
Eso sunye benede.
Kesiye papa. Oba wale phone suni ne bang. Se no odwen.
Na seminim say I mean over the years counselor medical ne fella omoto se umma. What's your more case now? If you to be now they are more what's here from?
Until her.
On TV. Some who say video trendy. TikTok trendy. Some wale say awale nengua. Awale nengua. I say we be fukakra na.
Obi aka jo say awale wegu.
Dabi.
Obi kan aka beti.
Mi anka so bi anhwe da anka.
Say wangu no obi anim say obewale.
Adey.
Say usuban ni nti.
Me ami ewi.
There be na member pel too much. Gente ka say why you confused. To say girl, Zaga friend. Oh, Zaga be too baby.
Girl.
Oh.
O say na wo kobodi na wo beto dwe wa ha. Wo de oba na obeye wa ya ponkofo di. Man can asem baby obedu bia ogina wa no. E na kobo bia counselor be di wa ha no no. Me seltie ni e mo bi nka nkyerɛ na mfa ho mfa medi matem wo social media. Me srem.
Na tem di wo social media say ho mfa so kra de say. So ko ma be di na tem anya ma me nsa fa na betu ka tia. Enti na wan wale no. Ye to so me no hwe ne to flat bi. Owo me ti na wa wo me elu. Dey bi da beka.
Me tuwe me dream me ho na counselor
eti me kase
me se wo video trending
ba cho me hu ye me enka
den na medical ne fela ware ye na wutimi hye nkom sa wale ni bedu na so so ampa wale nego e so wo ba ifu kakra e san se wo mbodi bi tu mu ana se uhu na chirechira de unye nyame so no wa chira de aye ne ne eti den pa awuhu awade ni mu e ma wo obi ware ya wutimi hye nkom sa wale nego na wade nego when you second counselor so na so mesi ware ye no so hye nkom sa wade nego aye nego
oyo ba abodi
na me mbodi me nyoba ade me e be ma
mbema kasa na ja mbema no mo esan se ma ka chere se moti ha na akoebidi V8 be pia kokrom onam krom ni afre boys ni akwaje afire se awale bi begu me ka wanje embassy odi V8 be fifie etuka so di kokrom na na yiri ni buafu no asoma boys no 4 efi mataiko 2 efi dalia so no mako bu akwa no wo V8 no na awale negu no asan kwa any tele adwuma enti ye ka asem a wontie tele adwuma no ntu no so ngusu nye tele adwuma no na already be
na dia wo ken ye ya me enye no na me ka cho me se yeti kom ha mama wa no ware ya no wa hye nkom se wade negu so wa na wade negu
se wa wale negu
me se na se me nye celebrity
na wo ye den biti
me celebrity me say me ntia se tafo e se nkom na ye ya wade isegu e ho no me ntia se one what the fu kakra two wonye nyame no wa atira de aye ne ade na ya wo hu before wotimi ka se osumasi awade ya wade e begu to so fa sa wade de begu
makpe ginger honey chips is the best chips of the season. We've been doing pampanya kama. Very, very important. Eti nyame ma oba egu onu ankasa na wade.
E ma enkofa wade egu.
Diedi kind. Se oba ti awade ase a oyo walefo a odane oba. So go ma tie statement in here. A wife is not interested in the property of the husband. A wife, the well-being of the marriage.
A wife.
A wife.
If you are today, I'm not saying Sunday, Sunday, say,
Chiremo, Mutia,
and to today, I want to say, yet, yes, by yes,
yeah, you are in the marriage, but you don't understand the marriage. It may say, dear ma or bawa, dear,
near that were back and they were bawa for.
Yes,
into a bawa for no trim power, dear Nassano.
Say, our dear never conquer, Nenya Japadia.
Okay,
now, Oba or Tia, what dear Sia, Yawali now, or done in war, Bano. The news you are doing here, Japadia. So there are women like you who are married, whilst we are looking at them as wives, but they are women. They easily become women in the marriage, act as women and not wives. And it's a thin line to switch from being a wife and becoming a woman. So when you are able to switch from being a wife to a woman, it leads you quickly to become a candidate of destroying your own marriage. Most of you right now in a marriage and you become women. And I'm saying that if you find yourself with a wife today whose interest is she has moved from a wife to a woman.
But what I've said, you be man palano. And I am young boy, anytime
you have a wife that reminds you that make a property for the sake of the children, she has become a woman, not a wife. Because a wife contributes her opinions. A woman has a point of view. There are two different things. Oba for our contribution. But Oba onye wale for who saw your ban our point of view. And obi our point of view, they insist that their point of views are taken. But whoever is a wife contribute, whether it is taken or not, the well-being of the marriage is their own. So the first thing that destroys a woman's marriage by herself is moving from being a wife to a woman. And it is obvious, say, when you leave being a wife to a woman, you hardly know you have moved. You think that you are becoming the stronger one. You think that you are who you are. Hear me. The difference between authority and power is that authority is given by the one who has power. So every wife has authority but doesn't have power.
Okay.
And marriage is never democracy, where your contribution is needed for or mining cost for. Marriage is autocracy. You are not aware.
Okay.
Mrs. means what? MR. Spelling me saying.
Mrs. MRS.
MRS. Master's Registered Slave.
Is it why Jane now what they are kind of
that is what I have to say my is it a dear what so I can now what Jane so now they trust corner check is what is MRS? Master's Registered Slave. You are one of them. Are you not Mrs. You are Master's Registered Slave. So you are a slave.
And I miss here day.
Miss MRS. You miss your stress when you miss them. You miss your stress. It's not bad, maybe out here what you want miss stress. You miss your stress when you meet them.
Many MRS no definition into.
Now who give to man? It doesn't change it. You are a slave. Who put on it? So I'm saying that
a sweet slave.
Oh, but whatever it is,
you are a slave. Don't call me a dog.
There be Christelle don't call me a dog. Maybe Kasa.
Maybe don't so chiao.
Which means lesson don't call me Bushia and no any don't call na mochero.
No, maybe can't don't come. Say don't call.
It's better dear uncle for me.
That don't yes, I don't call dearly a don't call. Me, yeah, I can cast me a cast slave. I don't call. Yes, but I
want the end it's not say affable.
Oh, okay, don't.
I want the end to say. Bobalo, Accra.
Okay.
Who went your bar? No,
channel, come on.
Celestine, don't call in the Kundian.
Don't call.
Okay.
But I can't say so. I don't call for me. So
I don't call.
No, so
they are service and straight. I Kalu for not crowns your Kalu for. But Celestine don't call the any Kundian. A young quatinting Bobalo. Who went to buy and a near man at Nasia. Near Shannon, and so yes, sir. Almost more genome to be Flamenco. And that is the difference between the two. But me talk about the so. And so maybe I'll tell what they are self person or what they sent him. Daniel Bar and Maria you go so wallow. So when my obedience here say, dear ma oba wale for nye aduane no a enye mpema gro enye nyamesie enya wo ena efiensie enye nema oya wale ni o.
Because phone is so quiet their chance.
These are general goals. Everybody can do it. But TM and plan for your
than 2 years, 18.
Hey! That is another part of the world. Moon say, no couldn't say. So when soon you one can hear, what you may say, oh, wale, Nyama when you be empla, and now obi kubi yano, and my way awalini. So when you hear me, until they pay your bride price, you cannot practice marriage. You cannot practice marriage. So forget thinking, say, whatever you are doing everything like a married woman. You are not.
I wanted them fall so.
No, you are not.
1001. I can't be in the forms. Marriage material.
Oh, but anybody at all who tries to say that you are a married material, there is nothing on earth that is called marriage material. Because when you say, like you need to say red flags, there's nothing in the word called red flag before marriage. You don't have red flag before marriage. And your friend is a way of marriage material. There's nothing like that. Because you can only know counselors. The only way you can know this is a marriage material is after marriage. So when you finish marrying the person, then you can testify by the actions and inactions of the person that she's practicing marriage with you as a wife. Then you say this one is a marriage material. So the first thing is that if you want to destroy your marriage, the first thing you have to learn is learn how to switch from a wife to a woman. And once you switch, your marriage will collapse. Because the way a woman addresses a husband is different from the way a wife addresses a husband. Number two, remember that in your act of being a woman's act of sleeping is different from a wife's act of sleeping. Oba wadi for send or dana. Any oba on wale and omo dana in your pet. And so Oba for no down your Oba wale for any new and dance solid pet. Baku solija back. Oba bia wale solija ni kunu wampaso. Na ukunu solija we. Oba bia wale ukunu solija ubia sorry ntem na ogu eni wase ase odachi. Ukunu ko adwuma ntemo. Ukunu yede ntemo.
Ukuna mamanda. Anadwumi na yankonkwa.
Why Oba?
No,
why Oba? Immediately you start thinking that way. That the whole night I didn't sleep. I was having nocturnal activities. The whole night it didn't allow me to have a peace of mind. My baby was crying, I didn't sleep. And so for that matter, I want to sleep for my husband to wake up. You have moved from a wife to
a counselor. But then tell me.
Okay.
But then tell me. And so you know what? I mean, apart from all this narration out there, my whatever
your body, but as a wife, you can never quantify your 9 hours sleep unless you are a stupid woman. Hey, so immediately you become a wife, your sleeping pattern is altered, and it will never kill you. It makes you strong.
Hey.
So if you sleep and compete with your husband, and your husband just when they make them so I'm sorry. What they cry, no sorry, so no any son and
breakfast in bed.
If your husband serves you breakfast in bed because you are tired, he's killing your future dream. Because so now
these things are not everyday thing, no. Once a while.
If you allow once a while, it will become everyday thing. Don't demand what, don't a husband, don't start what you can continue. A genuine husband doesn't start what he can't continue. Because I started with a preamble that no wife can ever be filled. Ask your wife tomorrow morning. Medo. And to buy what dear you
mean.
Bisa we say, ya wali in fear do me and say, what made you say, we so say when you mirror. What about Bianco Simple? And also, as I say, be so. Send the young Kupandum, call me and say, and then you and you pay now.
I won't say some say then I'm in your mamma day.
Never baby.
Every no boy was a better than Colombian.
Say, never many hours, let me do so. And Yamiran can be named say,
oh, okay.
The catch up. And I am just say, I dear back come as a meaty penny. Obi until one this memoir. I saw ya yere. Or to me, me palm, me feed it. It's the American say, yeah, Tram Yama and Ma or Bawa Yagu. See the American. Oh, fat, now you see. Yes, go in coming in and yes, I said that. But only no sure. And the worst what dear one. And you want to say the argument. Me see, there's difference between power and authority. So what you me? Your sleep pattern will be altered. Let's say, that 9 hours, and the doctor says for you to refresh and for your BP to be stabilized, you need to sleep 9 hours. And so when you didn't that 9 hours, or you didn't be what Danny or bar. That's also me, son. Oba who person what you good temana person say what dey men da wukulechi dampana no
oba ele
oba wale for enda empa no oda empa no to bre bia body nsemo man
I can be on a song of our for rich tilapia tea. Was a rich tilapia to Udim Dada. I think I mean, I don't know, tilapia tea.
No, if you change and marry, you don't become a man. You only become a woman. So you are a wife, and if you want to enjoy the blessings of the wife, watch these things because they can destroy a marriage. If you are sleeping position, so the first thing is that your sleeping pattern is augmented. The second one is that your sleeping position on the bed. Your sleeping position on the bed. Of course. Your sleeping position on the bed. On that banana. And I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Me that banana because at the bet na me that for to me put there.
If I say na ma ukunu. Papa wa wali ga ya nka na ka ya casualty. That's it. But when you ukunu da na wo da banana no a onye oba wali for o oba wali for the nikunu echi. And a bema bia wo yire da banana no a wo da won se ni fo so a wo de fa wo benya mental stroke. It says a bema dear woman, I'm sorry, you want to be cool, so now we'll come penny.
Ebusia for your brother.
In your bed position. And your bow didn't get a picture, I had the screensaver and a chest of our wallet. It says a phone, you I see a business at 1 year. Yeah, chef for no swap or you photo. Once you let him with it. Open on the way out. Put it empty. It's the American say, we are here. If you are a wife, make sure that you don't move from being a wife to a woman. And I'm saying, if you don't sleep behind your husband, you have become a woman. If you sleep in front of your husband, you have changed from being a wife to a woman. So keep these few ones, God willing.
What you say, style be, but style me position is so them and Obani day.
During sexual intercourse, when they change your position at the entrance, right after the act, make sure that you come back and see your face. Because if you don't go to back to factory settings, you have become a woman. And when you become a woman in marriage, you lose your marriage. And it makes you talk just anyhow. So hear me. And then we take a crowd. Who person what they say nkwabia. Nyama me kai start here. Now what they and say and sempo anka. Wow. On 0277 person dia wukuno 609 person divorce party 644. Chon boko na unsa e wo so. O frame me pa na me so 0277 609 644. We didn't need to say be mania frame me. Ni ensesa me ni enye sa oyembe show wonya BP wewu. Nyankopon well. Ishira po gusu o Ghana.
Every year na wuni na say much now from 10 a.m. till now. I mean Shabo Shambo Radio Shejumera no show my Ghana. Maybe this Soko Hima Kukwa. Enjoy the rest of your day. Yakutomo some happiness.
Okay. Why? There's only money we say one pound. They don't hey, now tell me no magic air condition way. As tell say mo say table no.
Na me me amati so mo si we na say
Mo say for wa hu mi ye na nye bibia nti o na ye say mi pie ba abonte no ma ya de bia nye
me
we ya
chai mo fa we so count them brass.
The internet, I'm sorry. MSP 30, MSP 30, MSP 30, MSP 30. I think the sound is back. MSP 30 for all menstrual cycle issues. MSP 30. If your menstruation is not coming, it's too brown, it's too dark, you find it difficult before you have your menses, you need MSP 30. It is fully approved by FDA, not SDA. So MSP 30 is the H for women. Every woman, wherever you are, all you need is MSP 30. Call Counselor Lutrod right now on 0277 609 644. 0277 609 644. MSP 30. And for the men, all you need is Tonga Tali capsules. 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 Call and order yours right now. 0277 609 644. 0277 609 644. And Makpe ginger honey chips. Makpe ginger honey chips. Makpe ginger honey chips. 862-215-2007. 862-215-2007. Order yours right now. And in Ghana, 0277 609 644. 0277 609 644. Makwe ginger honey chips. So, like I said earlier on, you learn. Nobody dies if you continue learning. Nobody will get rotten if you continue learning. It is better for you to learn something so you can provide something. If you don't know anything, then your life will never amount to anything. So what we know is what we are sharing with you. We can't insist that you take what we are sharing, but it is better for you to add what we are sharing to what you know already. It's better for you to be sure of what you are in the known, that you are adding some to it. So for some, it's a repetition. For some, it's a first time. So today, I'm focusing on something very special, that once you move on, the first thing I said, you should keep it in your heart. Don't become a woman. Maintain your position of becoming a wife. If there's any activity that will take you or you cause you to lose your position as a wife, do everything possible in your capacity and move out of that position, because as long as you remain as a wife, I promise you that your enjoyment will last forever as a wife in the marriage. Keep it open in your mind that anytime you find yourself as a woman in marriage, you lose your position and your right and benefit as a wife. The two things that we all look forward to is making sure that you want to do what must be done the way it must be done, for the way it's supposed to be done. It shouldn't be confusing. So like I said it earlier, it is a simple thing that we are learning. And if we learn it well, we will know it well. Marriage is not meant for boys. Marriage is meant for men. And when you are a woman that you are married, maintain your position as a wife, because only wives focus on marriage. Women focus on property. So if you are living with a woman whose focus is property, and I mean, Jana on no fat dino, Brahmin na brebesi and nano, mean Jana no fat dino, no fat dino, Mesuma Kohin, Nasa Wadia me buy me home for so crowded. Anytime you find a woman saying these things, she has left the position of being a wife to a woman. And when your wife is surrounded with a lot of women as a wife, she will always speak as a woman. There's a difference between a woman and a wife. And I'm saying that every woman is married for her to become a wife. But most people have been married, and instead of them to maintain the title as a wife, for some mischievous activity, they turn quickly from the act of being a wife and go back to a wrong default setting. But I'm telling you that I'm helping you to come back, like Sokohima said, to your factory settings. Are you a wife? If you are a wife, then this conversation concerns you, because I'm discussing a husband and a wife. How can you lose your marriage as a wife? It is difficult for you to lose your marriage as a wife, but it is easy for you to lose your marriage as a woman. So girls who are practicing the act in their homes with people's husbands are not wives. You are only a wife because you are married. And your continual assessment as a wife is what continuously keep you in the home. So I said it earlier on, so Goima didn't get it, but you might also get it right now, that your sleeping pattern will change. The excuse say you didn't die, now oba homachin, o see me swear ni, benya bibia anye, and obi a o see me so dear, addition pa, me fahin agba koye den amano. Ono anim sɛ mabrɛ ɛna me kru nso deɛ ɔnyɛ nim sɛ mabrɛ deɛ mepɛ bi ɔyɛ ma me breakfast in bed ɔno abɛdware na ɔde nkɔla no akɔ school ɛsiane sɛ nyankopɔn anim nie agorɔ bi a yɛdi ɛno mabrɛ paa mabrɛ papapapapa maame wabrɛ nti ɛnyɛ dɛn na ayɛ nti a wabrɛ na bɛrima ɛfa ɔkakra bi a ɛde ɔbrɛ dɛ dawada bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ọ̀bẹ̀rẹ̀ rẹ̀ dà ẹni èso ẹ̀ǹká wà lẹ́wọ̀ rà ojú àrà sára rẹ̀ èjì mi kásá máa búra nàjú ibà náà búra gúúsù dà ọmọ sí ẹnura ní àná sọ mi pẹ̀ náà so èdí bí a flip dì mí pa mama ní ẹmu yìí náà ayẹ nyonyonyo ètì mi tí mi nyìnà mi náà sí náà mi ṣe mpẹ́ mu yìí o náà kwam náà flip wọ̀ hẹ́ náà sọ ọ́nù deɛ bẹ́ẹ̀ má gẹ̀ntínká wọ́n ẹ̀dí mi ẹ̀ pèrè mi kọ́. Ama ọkọ na ejuma kọye na ejuma na ọno deɛ ɔda ha agye dɛn mi mpo ɛmi dɛ sɛ ɔkɔ sɛ ɔda ha nka ɔbɛsɛn to esi mi so bio sɛ ɔbaa yɛ minim sɛ nnɛ mmea mi kuru ɔnyɛ adwuma se osi mi so ɛni esu nsɛm a sɛ agye mi nkɔpɛ nso yɛ di ne bɛdwam woka akyerɛ ɔnyɔnko baa sɛ ɛyɛ wo sɛ wokunu afɛ aduro na ɔdiidiw ɛnti na ɔdiiw kama saa na sɛ ɔdiiw yi nso woda wo kunu ase na angyegye ho mea me flepo mɛnya wanka yee bɛmɛna ɛtusi mu sɛde harder faster na so yɛwie a deɛ ɔbɛka ne sɛ osi me so ani ɔyɛ dɛ woyɛ asemasi bi ana it is not fair. Don't do these things. And your bar would mean your excuse or champagne. The son said, Uku, anyone ending the year and you and the idea chain. Amma William Munaya, Menka ya lea, Menka ya lea, sorry, film. Now you are some of the oya dem pemana ya call hospital. Oyale akwayale sabia na de sefata sese ye ma wo doctor fo nsem no ya ma na wo so wa be senipa be so bi e wa ahode enti men da ene ukru en compete me kan so se men da empana no kai se de bia obeda empana to eye ukru achi na oba wo nsua se na ye da kru achi a de bia wo sori a wo de obeda ukru anim no eye oba walefo a wasesa ne hyebre efi awale mu e de aba oba onwale yi mu oba wa wale wo susuye ni wo suman enye pe oba wo wale ye no o ye wo nyama eson sanete oba wale fo nso ye wo nyama eson sanete enti yesua de bi awale guo ba de se efie de ma awale eye basabasa de to so bi oba wale fo na ehwe fie duane adidie na efie ntoto ye bia enti bema enhwe efie didi asem de to so bi eba na mpem agro nso a oba na mpem agro enso enti yegusu aye kan ye kei opese awale egu ntema. If you want to destroy a marriage, these are some of the things that destroys marriage, and I've mentioned most of them. One of them that I want to talk about today again is this. If you want to destroy your marriage as a woman, or these things can destroy your marriage as a woman, one of them, share the page and let's go. Share the page and let's go. As you are with your husband, your services to him can determine whether you have changed from a woman or a man. So the way you serve your husband, Sana umma ukunu eduane ayase kom enum kom ninyina the way you serve, make sure that you serve as a wife and not as a woman. If you start serving your husband as a woman whilst you are still a wife, I promise you that your marriage will collapse. So if your intention is to collapse your marriage, start serving your husband not as a wife but as a woman. So how do we serve our husbands as women and not wives? I'll give you some few examples. Your comments are brought to you proudly by MSP 30, Makwe Ginger Honey Chips, Tonga Tali capsules. Hear me. If there's any problem you are facing in your menstrual cycle, that is why you can't put to birth. That is why you are still barren. All you need to do is to drink at least 12 bottles of MSP 30. You will be running with a testimony to come and share, not in church, but on social media. I just want you to know that MSP 30 is the H for women right now. Tonga Tali gives you vitality as a man, so you can stand on your testosterone and perform what you are supposed to perform as a man. Don't disgrace men, because God created men in his likeness and in his image. Bema question so obaya sia ugu weni masino wagu nyankopon animas yentu ankomodie no so as a wife, and why are we focusing on wife? We'll come to men. What men needs to do not to destroy their home. Men have things they can do to destroy their homes, but this one I am talking about women. The things you can do to destroy your home. So I've said many, and where I am right now is that how to serve your husband at home. How to serve your husband at home. Hear me. Anywhere your husband appears, the environment your husband is. For example, I work with my wife. So in my wife's office, she is a director in her office. In the house, she is my wife. The fact is that when I go to my wife's office, she still remains to be my wife. But the environment doesn't put a demand on her to serve me as a husband. That is one of the mistakes we don't know. So it is good that when you are at your office and your husband comes around, serve him as a woman, not as a wife. But in your consciousness, you know that it is the working environment. That is why you are serving her, you are serving him, as not a husband. So I go to my wife's office to visit her, and she's supposed to serve me water. She doesn't have my type of glass that I have at home in her office. So she will serve me water in a bottle, but it is presented on a tray with a tissue wrap around it. It is a service that depicts who a woman is. In her office environment, she's acknowledging me and appreciating me for visiting her office, not as a husband, but as a customer or as a friend. But what she did for me in the office cannot be repeated in our house. My wife cannot serve me water in a bottle in the house. If you are serving me water even in sachets, it should be served in a glass. And mind you, remember that if you are a wife and not a woman, a wife will serve the husband. A woman will take care of the husband. So anytime you move from service to taking care, make me remember no, or to say me ba penyin, bibia wanya ma no to me, hear me. A year will say na wo ya ade ama ukunu. Esan say why to say wo mbani bi pe. Unya yiri bio uyoba. Esan say oyire asede ne say obebo modin na watu ni kunu pru wada tamfo anim. Oba bebo modin say obu esefate edi mekunu ode mema no. Oba bebo modin aka say ni kunu bedidi a enye na asede say ogohoro ne nsa wo sink mu. Oba nim say awade a me wari me serve me kunu nti me to ne pru a me to pru a esombo wo nanim. Hwe enkrofo nim say na etie aduane mpo mekunu. So nim say ekunu fufuo ye boni mienu. Fufuo ni yaketua say mpo ye mbontu ye boni mienu. Esan say be ma ni gi asem ye nufuo mienu, etro mienu, nufuo mienu, etro mienu, nufuo mienu, etro mienu, nufuo mienu, etro mienu. Eti wo yire tatwa fufuo tu plate mu agbamsa. Or the two asankare mu gbansa kai say o te won kwaso. Wa dane oba onye yiri bio. E yiri de ukunu fufuo utwa amana uche mu mienu. Bama bia o yiri ma waduane a o che fufuo no onche mu mienu na oya ne baako bia lo hwe ne ye o pewekum o pewekum o pewekum o pewa se odache o pewa ma wa ye mobo odache bia o banu esan se oba o serve ukunu serve ne ye na ukunu nso so obenum tin a tin so ye serve ne se obi asem bisa no ukunu so obenum tin na tin a ukuru benum de onu mode mu kura ba mu ana cup mu ana glass mu oba bi woni kuru bisa so obeso onum ti a onum so na be serve no And a million me fengu muma wana minye tinimbre wana wabe wo table no so. The ideal better way of serving beverage, especially Milo or tea, is to bring the ingredients to the table and allow the man to do it according to his taste. However, there are times you bring it to the man and the man still insists, do it for me. So your service to your husband makes you a wife. And there's a way a wife serves a husband. See, there is a way a wife serves a husband. I told you the last time that if your husband goes to buy food outside and brings it home and has not even invited you, and you are looking at your husband eating the rice he brought in the park, you have moved from a wife to a woman. So got to buy no obese mhwema nanka ofre me ka chem say adua mansa me de aduana ba hwema me na mindi oba bia a wuti fi a wukunu di aduane ba osam fra o say hwie aduane na me na mindi no na say wadi watem onye oba walefo bi wada ne oba e san say the woman say oba walefo de ehun so okunu de aduane ba e wo park mu a wo ho pre wo kofa plate be hwie gu one wo nkasew one wo kasew one wo ye fine o one wo nye fine o men prima wukunu endidi ewo friend dem disposable pack mu esan se ebebo wudin bonne enti hwefie ni yie onu aduane ama wukunu no adi nso makada se bibi nti wuntumi nkodu fie na se de oboa wo fie no eye wukunu aduane mana hwe se wan small house up no go bisa ne papa se bisa papa se ene den na obedi ma mi tie me pa wo pese wa wade ne ko nka na ekọ nanima enye wo house help na said yes so go bisa da said then obedi wo a oye enna e wo fie wo a oye eyire no wo na ye wa said yes so be provided the da e be ba bedi enti ya koye nima ya be wa ka che house help ni se onka omotuo na enkatenkwan bi wo ho onfa ka ho mada no ndi enti wo na wo fred da aka che da say honey I'll be late in a little bit today so food is going to be served. Not going to be prepared, going to be served for you. When the food is served, I will alert you, my dear, because today we are eating omotu and granite soup. So I will alert you quickly to know that the food is ready on the dining table. So you come and dine. Sorry, you're dining alone without me, but you know I love you and I love to eat with you. I hope that tomorrow I'll not have this emergency to attend to. This is how a wife speaks to a hungry husband. This is how you speak to a hungry husband, coercing a husband to come and eat the food. It's not about the sweetness of the food. It's about the presentation and the know-how of the food and how you can go forward with your food to win the heart and the portions of your husband as a wife. And when you serve the food that your husband is eating, make sure that your husband will not finish eating and be screaming and looking for those who are supposed to, as it were, clear the table he ate on. So your husband has finished eating and is calling everybody. Ajo Amansa, yeah, baby. Charlotte, Mr. Pa, but who wanting passes here make us say, na be me table, no mamma, my dear, me whom mammy, me whom baby oko. Don't try this nonsense at all because it will not help. It will backfire. It will not help, but will backfire. And when things backfire with us, where else can you go away from his face? So these things I've taught might sound like repetition for you. Hey, counselor, the practice is not done in this modern world, though. Yes, and that is why the modern world are having the challenge of missing their partner away and causing their partner to make them look elsewhere like dummies. So what you are saying, I agree with you. But sankofa yenchi. Sankofa yenchi. What I'm talking about is that you cannot in any way believe that because of these things that has happened, this is how life is going to be for you. I want to encourage you that let's practice it. Not because this is what the world is doing, but let's do what is right. So, like I said earlier on, this is just some part of the road show that has metamorphosed into a simple principle of what I call the policy of these safety precautions that we need to be taking care of in our marriage settings. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to mention the last one and then I will close because my time is up. And one of the things that I want to leave with you is that don't die in a dying relationship. Make sure that you are solving something that you are fighting with. Use your strength to fight. Use it to fight because we'll be able to get everything you have for you. God richly bless you. This is proudly brought to you by Ginger Mako Chaves and the MSP 30. We shall hear once again my voice on the same page when the food is fully prepared. God richly bless you. MSP 30 is the H. Buy one for yourself and buy one for God bless you. Bye bye.